another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And if it's Saturday, it must be what day?
Yeah.
Bolo Day.
Oh, yeah, the Bolo Day. I was going to say the end of the week, but okay, sure, we'll take Bolo Day.
There we go.
Why not?
Anybody new out there to our channel? Bolos mean be on the lookout for, and it's things that sold on eBay over the last week or so. We try to present them to you, interesting stories behind them, why we bought them, what we did wrong sometimes, and so on. And why don't you take it away, Mr. Magazine? This looks like
it looks
something
like,
very interesting.
Well, it looks like something that Papergoy would be selling, but nope, it is a Mr. Magazine product that we sold. Reefer Girl. I guess it turned out to be a very rare book. I bought it from a good customer of mine. He told me it was good, and he gave me a very fair price. There wasn't a whole lot of comps. People were asking all crazy price on other sites. You know, I said let's go for $1,000, and I ended up taking $650. I still doubled my money on it, and I'm very happy with that. So I could have gotten more, but if you look in this corner, we didn't realize it at first. There's a couple holes punched out by her leg there. So I think that hurt the guy that was purchasing. He offered me less for that reason.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think that those two little mushrooms on her leg are a result of smoking too much reefer?
It's a possibility.
You
sure.
never know
You do
out
never
there.
know. Yeah.
But definitely, this is one of those lurid kind of books that you'll find out there from time to time. People, that was back in the scare of all the terrible things that could happen if you smoked pot, et cetera, et cetera. Always do keep your eyes open for things like that. Very, very difficult to find, but if you do find them, they definitely will sell. And Mr. Magazine called and asked me about the book, and I'd never heard of it before. And then I did some research, and I said, "Oh, wow!" So definitely something to keep a look for out there. You may find it. You never know.
Absolutely, sure. All right, moving on. What not to buy, right?
There you go, the Anti-BOLO.
Ice Follies, 1960, 24th edition. I don't know how many years. Well, actually, only had it up for a couple years, but I got $11 for it and some change. So it's nothing great. You might be able to find it for $1 or $2 right out there.
Oh, definitely. You can find these, but here's the thing. A lot of people think these are better than they are. Mm-hmm. So you'll find the dealers asking $2, $3, $4, $5 on them, even on up. Mm-hmm. Don't buy them. I mean, obviously, you will get them from time to time in lots. And then, it's worth having them as part of the lot. And then, what are you going to do with them otherwise?
Yeah.
I might even at that point lot them together to get rid of them.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Generally speaking, these are not hot sellers by any means whatsoever. And overall, they're fairly common. So this would be an anti-BOLO, I would say. If you see it out there, keep walking, unless it's a throw-in on a deal.
Sure. Absolutely. Next up, I might have spoke about these before, but they keep selling, and I'm doing great with them because I'm holding firm on my prices. I generally don't take less than $40 on these.
What are they?
It's a USFL mesh snapback hat. This is Tampa Bay Bandits, which I think was owned by Burt Reynolds. And very cool piece. And I got the whole 55, 54 out of this sucker, and very happy to do it. They are great condition, like new. I think they never been worn either, so very cool.
I guess the only, and I don't think it's a big deal, but I think the only thing I would change, what does AJD mean? Large AJD? Any idea? Is that the manufacturer?
It's got to be, yeah.
Lucky Stripes?
Yeah.
I might, if you had room, and most people know when it is anyway, but I might actually put 1980s or I might put vintage in there.
Yeah.
Only so people know that it truly is from that era, as opposed to
True,
something newer. That would be the only thing I might change.
Yeah, you got it.
Wow, that was easy.
Next up, Marvel Hulk and Wolverine Sideshow. It's really not more
easy for you to say.
Well, I didn't list this. My employee did. It's more like a bust set, a maquette, and it's gigantic. I got $850 out of it.
I just saw the price.
Got $850. I think I paid half of that for it, and it's a very cool piece. It's listed as used like new. The person buying it wants to make sure it is new inside. Well, it's never been displayed, so we're going to double check it, because if there's any type of flaw, you don't want to ship something like this out that could cost $100 shipping, and then you got to pay $100 to return it. So
can I ask a stupid question? And
Sure.
You might not know the answer to this.
Okay.
You said it went for $850.
Yes.
How come the price isn't crossed out? The 1,005. Any idea? Because usually don't they cross them out?
That is a good question. Yeah, because it was an offer.
It was an offer. Yeah. Interesting.
I'll have to look at that one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it took the $850 on that.
No,
I offered him $850 and he accepted.
He accepted. Oh, maybe that's why. Who knows?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, some eBay glitch. Who knows?
We can go into the thing later and take a double check it. Maybe I made 1,000. Didn't even realize.
Maybe you're rich.
Yeah. Yeah, it was 3 a.m. when I took the offer, so the offer could have been full price. Who knows? Next up, Johnny Lightning's picked up a big collection. You know, there are some rare ones. There's white lightnings. There's chase ones. There's 2-packs. This one, we were a little high on the $98. It was up there for, I don't know, 4 months or so. I took 65 on it. I still didn't pay anywhere near that, so happy to sell it.
Any, I know you've given us before some quick little tips about Hot Wheels and what to pay on them, just in general, any of them that you see. What would be, Johnny Lightning, what's the price that if you see them out there and they're vintage, 5 years old or older, pay no matter what?
Unopened in bulk, I mean, I paid a couple bucks a piece for the collection. Obviously some are going to be 5, 10, 15, or 50, but, I bought 1,200 pieces, so, I got a bulk deal on the stuff.
So if I'm out at a garage sale and they've got 3 of them sitting there and I want $2 each on them, it's worth buying?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
For sure, yeah. I would say $2 unopened and 50 cents or $1 open even sometimes. Some of them still sell for good money open. Sure. Lastly, and you might find this somewhere. This didn't stick around too long. $6 Million Man, original vintage fabric. It's a big piece, 45 inches by 56 inches, and I think I took $45 on this. And it's something you can see, any type of movie piece that's fabric. I'm sure you can make pillows, you can, bedspread, whatever, sheets, whatever you want to do.
Well, that is a little tip. Anytime, and I don't do it very often whatsoever, I don't go to thrift stores, but this is the kind of thing you can find in thrift stores. I always do look in the bedding and fabric area. I have before purchased Star Wars stuff that I then sold to you. You can find Dukes of Hazzard. You can find all of that stuff because people donate, their children move out, and it's still sitting in a house, and they're like, I got to get rid of this stuff. Yeah. You can find that stuff, whether it's pillowcases, whether it's curtains, all that kind of stuff. And I did want to salute your lister for saying bolt of fabric. I know that is the right word. I never would have thought to do it unless I did some research on it. So kudos to them. Yeah. They get a big gold star.
I mean, we'll find some lightning out there we can sell.
And then they can say lightning, or something by
lightning.
Thank you, yes. Or something by you saying.
Just
saying bolt.
Yeah.
Do you get it? Or Frankenstein bolt. Anyway, the next item we have.
Too early.
Rise of Ford Motor Company 1913 Final Assembly Line Photo 1946 Automobiles Cars. I put this up for a couple of different reasons. Reason number one is if you do not go on our daily post on Facebook, you are missing something. I did put this up and I said, now time for America's favorite game show, Count the OSHA Violations with your host, Papergoy. I'm Papergoy. And it's just very interesting to see how things were done back then. One very nice thing about this is if you look over here, it does have the paper on it that explains exactly what it is. And this picture is from 1946. It is a reissue of the picture from 1913. They were going to print it because in 46 they wanted to show what working conditions were like, how they were manufacturing in 1913. So it's still almost 80 years old, so it had value. If it were the original 1913, it would obviously have much more value. Right. But I wanted to put this up. I'm not a big photography person, and I do know that a couple of our subscribers do a lot of things with photos, so they'll probably mention down below in the comments about first generation, second generation photos and all that kind of thing. That's way beyond what I know.
Yeah.
But I know that it's still worth something because it was from the 1940s, worth more than if I had a copy from the 1980s.
And you didn't have room to put AP wire in there, right? And that's probably the least important thing to put in there, correct? Because it's an AP wire photo, right?
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably is.
The words you put in there obviously are more important for searches. I don't think many people are going to search on AP wire photo.
AP wire photo. Yeah, no, it could have been in there. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yep. Next item I have over here, and the reason I put this up, it only went for $10 free shipping, but I put it up because it was more or less a freebie. Hold Tight Hat Holder Chic Innovations on Card 1930s. I was just out at a dealer and he had a bunch of paper stuff and stuff like this, and I just threw it in a pile, and he goes, I don't know, what do you think? And he gave me a price on the entire pile. Yeah. This was free. If I had put it in there or I didn't put it in there, no big deal. But I figured it's new old stock for the 1930s. Yeah. Where are you going to find something like this again? It took $10 on it free shipping. I'm more than happy to have that because, again, it's a free item. So don't be afraid when you see something on package. to do that. It probably was worth $10 just for the backer board, even if the piece weren't on it.
Yeah.
You know, for the graphics and all that kind of stuff. Problem I had is I didn't know really what to say about it.
Right. I mean, you really need a DeLorean and a flux capacitor if you wanted more of those, I'm guessing.
That is true. There probably are not too many of those out there. The next thing I bring up over here, I bring up because it's book club edition. And most of the time, book club editions are not good. There are some exceptions out there. You definitely there are actually a couple of books out there that the first print is book club. This is not one of them. I saw this out at a thrift store, and I ended up buying it. And I talked to a subscriber on the channel who knows a lot of stuff about Stephen King, and he said I got what I should have gotten for it being book club edition. I got $15 or $16, something like that for it. But Carrie by Stephen King, BCE, Book Club Edition, Hardcover DJ. I don't know what else to say. Novel of a Girl with a Frightening Power. I mean, what else are you going to say about it? Everybody knows what Carrie is.
Yeah, very cool cover.
A little bit smaller, and if you look right inside, I don't know. No, I didn't even put the second picture up because I figured I'm saying it's Book Club Edition. I'm not claiming it's a first. Believe me, it's a Book Club Edition.
Yeah.
If you look inside the jacket flap, it does say Book Club Edition or Book Club on it. That's how you can tell them. They're also smaller size. There's also a debossed dot. Say that 5 times fast, on the back. That's how you can tell book clubs. You can do a lot more research if you need to do so. Generally speaking, walk by them, but when you see a title like this, you can end up getting that out of there. You know, if you can get $16 out of a book that you pay $1 for, nothing wrong with that because it's sold in a week also.
Right, sure.
Fast turnover time on the Stephen King stuff. But I did want to bring that up because you will find these out there. Next item we have, I took an offer of $40 on it. I listed at $54. I took an offer within a couple of hours. Broken Dishes program, January 6, 1930. Betty Davis, Donald Meek. She's got Betty Davis eyes. Couple of things that I found in my research. This was actually her first Broadway play.
Wow.
I picked it up. I picked it up at a bulk deal, but it was an old dealer stock, and he wanted $4 on it when he was set up at the flea market. Now, obviously, I paid a lot less because he had passed, and I bought it from his part of his estate. Everything I paid pretty much nothing for it. But I wanted to bring that up because, number one, you can still get good deals off of dealers. If I had paid $4 for it, I still would have done well.
Right.
It was up at bid for the 54. I took $40, and you're going to say, Papergoy, why did you take $40 on it a couple hours after you listed it?
I was definitely thinking that.
Because I went and I searched comps, and it was worth about $40.
Oh, well, there you go.
So I priced it a little bit high, hoping. When somebody made me an offer of $40, I said, that's what it's worth. I'm more than happy to sell it for what it's worth.
Now, what if there were no comps at all on there?
Then I would not have taken the 40, and I would have asked a lot more than the 54. I probably would have asked 100, 120 on it, something like that. Right. But because there are comps, so I saw what it sold for, I'm happy to get the price out of it.
Sure.
A little insider tip, and you do not know this, I'm going to bet. Be honest with me if you knew this or not. Betty Davis's first appearance on stage was 1 week in a play called Broadway, held in Rochester, New York.
Well, I did not know that.
I have not found any of that program out there. If you're inside Rochester, I've just given away a secret. What's that worth? $500? $800?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's her first stage appearance and it was 1 week only, crazy money.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of thing where I did the research. Now I know that. Now I'm going to be out there looking for that play and looking for her name in that play if I happen to find a program from Rochester.
Sure.
You know, it's a needle in a haystack.
Yep.
But it's definitely worth $800, $1,000 if you find it. This is her first appearance ever on stage. Yeah. You never know.
Very cool.
Next item we have up over here. I'm sure you've sold a lot of A Magazine. What is that? That's A Magazine.
Yeah, it is. I don't know if I have, to be honest with you.
I got $81 at bid. I'm thinking Coco Lee probably is the reason it sold, but it could be Andy Lau, Wen Ho Lee, Alex Kwao, Dina Gan. I have no idea.
Coco's worth more than is it Ice Cube? No, it's Ice-T's wife.
There you go.
Yeah, she sells for about $30-$40. So.
Yeah. So you just never know. I picked this up in a lot of stuff. I had zero idea at all about it. I said, what am I going to do with it? Nice. This is more up your Strasse because you tend to sell the newer magazines, but it was in a lot of stuff I bought. And I said, I'll put it up. Who knows? Yeah. I was stunned. Absolutely stunned.
Very cool.
Goes to show that sometimes some of these oddball magazines, you just absolutely never know what it'll sell for.
Nice.
the last item I put up here, I was torn between putting up here or saving it for an anti-BOLO video.
Okay.
And this was one of those things that I sold, and I said to Mrs. Papergoy, you got to see what I sold. And I brought it up, and she looked at it and says, what is somebody going to do with that? Then I went to Random Neighborhood Kid and said, look what I sold. And his answer was, why? So those always tell you sold something good. And now it did take a while to sell. It took 14 years to sell.
Wow.
But Delta Airlines vintage unused bar of soap.
Nice.
I got $7 plus shipping out of it. It is literally, that size that they would have handed out to you on the long flight. Mm-hmm. Why somebody saved it, I don't know. They went on their flight and saved it. Why some idiot listed it, I don't know. It was in some lot somewhere or other, and he said, what else am I going to do with it?
True.
It's too old to use. I'll put it on.
We don't know that.
Soap actually does go bad. And the reason I know this is because I used to have to travel for my day job. And I used to always bring the soap home, and I must have had 500 bars of the soap. And then I went online, and after a couple of years, it starts to break down and not be good anymore.
I bet there's no expiration date on the back of that.
I will guarantee you there is not. You just never know. And again, it took forever to sell. That is the definition of long tail. 14 years for that to sell. Got $7 plus shipping out of it.
Nice.
But I guess where else you going to find it?
True.
So, hey, if you see these out there, you can buy them. And guess what you can do?
Use it?
Wait for it. You can clean up on eBay.
Uh-huh. Nice. Good one. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.